Well, it looks like we're recording. I wanted to make sure I was recording this time. So, as you most of you know, I live down here in Florida in Cape Coral, and we were without power for 2 weeks, and we were without the internet until today. About 4 hours ago, we finally got our internet back. So that's why you haven't gotten a newsletter because we've had no way to send it. Anyway, this newsletter is for 3 October, uh, most of which was already done, but I had no way to record anything. Everything requires internet access. So we're in a relationship series, and this particular one is about hiring the right people. And this is a big one for business owners and churches because you don't want the wrong people in the wrong job. It might be the right job and have the wrong person, but okay, I'm going to touch on this briefly, the best I can, and try to keep this time limit where I'm supposed to keep it. So, how do you begin? There's a lot of things you got to think about when you're hiring somebody. First off, before you do anything, get your job description in your mind. If you're not doing the hiring personally, make sure the personnel or human resource person knows what you want. You have to have a job description. I'm just telling you. You don't know how many people over the last 45 years I have consulted with all sorts of companies and churches and organizations, and it's almost like they're just looking for a warm body that on paper looks pretty good, and that's the wrong way to hire. You want to hire people that actually not only can just do the job, that's a technical thing. You want to hire somebody that can get along with the other personnel involved at your company. The technical skill, if a person has that basic skill, you can train them to become much, much better at it. It is more challenging to train somebody to have good interpersonal skills. So I recommend having a consultant, such as myself, come into your organization and talk about communication, because at a step above, that's what we do. We help people and organizations become a little bit better through more effective communication. Let me move on in this one. Values. Oh boy, this is a very, very important area. The people you hire should embrace the values of your organization. The way you know that is by having a job description and a list, no more than 10, a list of values that are core to the presentation of your company to the public and your internal presentation, because each department in your company is customer to the other department. Your vendors are customers, like you are their customer. The values that you instill in your personnel will determine the level of success that you achieve. If there are no concrete values, your organization will limp along. Maybe you're doing a few million a year, and that's about it. You're not going to do more than a few million a year. because you don't have concrete values. You haven't worked on finding what characteristics you want in an employee. Those are two factors that must be intertwined and will help you become more successful as a church, any kind of organization, and as a company. Any type of business. I don't care if it's just you and one other person. That one other person has to share your values or you're not going anywhere. It's as simple as that. What's your hiring process? Oh boy, I've had people say, well, I talk to people and if I get a gut feel that they're right, I hire them. I said, okay, how's that been going for you? Well, they stay 2 or 3 months and I got to hire somebody else. If I got a good gut feel, I'll hire that person. Well, this person has been doing that for years. So it's not funny. It is funny, but it's not funny. You can't go on gut feel. I'm just telling you. You have to have a process. You have to know what is it that you want in a person to do a certain job. You have to have skill. You may not hire the person with the best skill. However, perhaps their values and their interpersonal skills are excellent. You can always train people into technical skills. That's a mechanical thing, and it can be done. I've got to add this in here. Don't let a candidate schmooze you with long, elaborate, non-specific answers so they can deflect from the fact that they don't have the skill, they don't have knowledge, and they probably would be a poor fit for your organization, but they can schmooze you. And you're like, oh man, what a great person this is. No, and don't allow the candidate to assume charge of the interview. And I'm not kidding. It's I've seen candidates. Boy, it's not funny, but when you're sitting as a consultant and you're watching the hiring process of the personnel or human resource person, it's interesting to see how they interact with different individuals, and sometimes you get some real doozies in there. They can schmooze you into thinking they are the best thing since sliced bread and end up lasting about 45 days at your company, and you've spent perhaps thousands of dollars in training them. It's just not, it's not good. You want like-minded people, not same-minded, like-minded. And here's how I differentiate. Same-minded people think exactly like you do. That's not what you want. You want like-minded people that think similar to you as far as the end result. Similar. However, they may have a different way of going about it. So they will challenge the status quo and say, well, what if we did it this way? You, as the leader, owner, whatever, manager, don't put them down for trying to find a better way to do something. Explore it. Find out, is this a good way to do this? I never thought of that before. How would that work? And ask them questions. Find out what their thinking is, why they think that might be better. So think about the type of person that will fill the job that you need done. What skills and temperament will connect with your company environment? In interviewing applicants, consider their mannerisms, body language, and eye contact. If I'm in an interview or I'm interacting with a person, and I'm having difficulty for them to maintain eye contact, I'm not hiring them. They're hiding something. Don't know what it is. Don't care what it is. Not hiring them. With your pre-considered qualifications, assess is a better word. Assess each applicant. You have to know what you want, what kind of individual you would like. You do need to have some gut feel. I'm not throwing that out to the side. You do need to have a feel for that person. But you also need to have some discernment on, is this a schmooze job, or are they really giving me the straight stuff on how they are? So that's it for this week. Check out our website, www.patreon.com/a-step-above. Become a gold member. Man, for $9 a month, you get 50 years of my experience, skills, knowledge, workshops I've attended, conventions, conferences, books I've read, articles, videos. I have spent literally tens of thousands of dollars to get the knowledge that I have, so I could be better at what I do. And I've heard just about every top person in the field, Zig Ziglar and John Maxwell and Sinek and all of these guys, because they have something and they've keyed in on things to better any business or any organization. And I'm going to learn as much as I can from these individuals so I can be better for you. Also, as a gold member, you get a free copy of every book I publish during the year. If it's one book, you get that. If it's 4 books, you'll get that. Like this year, I've published one, and I'm getting ready to come out with another one. Next month, I believe, is when it's coming out, November. So that for the people that have been gold members this year, they will have gotten 2 books for this year. Next year, I'm planning on publishing probably 5 books. I've got several different things in the works that I'm working on. So make it a terrific day. Look at your hiring process to make sure you're getting the people that you want that will become sticky people. In other words, they stay with your company, they do a good job, and they present you and your organization in the best light.